there's a massive bloodline curse that's clearing from the masculines of certain bloodlines. So if you are connected to like Romani Gypsy, if you have that kind of ancestry, or even tracing back to the Banjara people of India, because that's actually, you know, they share some ancestry with the Romani Gypsies as well, then you may be experiencing an up level in your masculine energy, whether you're a man or a woman, but it's particularly happening with the masculines. And this particular curse was a bloodline curse that basically emanated from the Chaldees in ancient Mesopotamia or ancient Babylon, which is now modern day Iraq. And it was a priest order that was running black magic on certain bloodlines that they had genetic hatred for. They just wanted to destroy and curse people who they didn't like. I don't know, for whatever reason, if it was deserved. I mean, it's not deserved for people, you know, further down the lineage, is it? But if there was anything that was that provoked it, I don't know. I wasn't shown that, but I was shown that it was just a pure genetic hatred for certain bloodlines, and they ran curses, and the curse was basically affecting the health of the masculines, particularly around like the liver, pancreas area, and shortening their lifespan, because it was producing this extreme polarity. Now, y'all know, like, I'm not into the whole like 50-50 feminist, like men and women are the same and women should work just like men and should go out and pay bills and be a boss babe and pay 50% of the bills, because I just find that it's just a lie. Like, we're not the same as men, you know, we give birth, we get pregnant, we have children, you know. I do believe that men should be providers, but that where you can swing so far. I see a lot of the polarity teachings and a lot of the kind of conservative pushback movement, like the pushback against the woke agenda. A lot of people are going very like hard right with some of these polarity teachings, where they're like the masculines this and the feminines this, and it creates more imbalances. And this particular bloodline curse I could see was causing issues in people's lineages, where the women would be staying home and working, looking after children, making bread, you know, and weaving, you know, making clothes. They were still creating and they were still generating income. They were still working and creating abundance, but they were doing it together at home with the other women in their families. But the men were going out and they were like working these very difficult, very dangerous jobs, very working extremely hard. Like, let's be real, like, let's give it to the boys. They work hard for society, okay, and they run their bodies into the ground, and they need support. They need energetic support. They need that feminine healing touch that they can only get from their partners, from their wives. And, you know, when the men are always out at war, or, you know, going away for long periods of time doing these really difficult, dangerous jobs, that can have very negative impact on their health. And if they don't, this is why I'm all about Hirosgamos and balancing the energies, okay? It's not good for men to be away from their families and to not have that like feminine healing energy. If they don't, like, you know, when men go out to war, they would seek like comfort women from brothels and things like that, like, you know. And I know that we, you know, will be like, oh, the toxic masculine, and that's fucked up that they do that and it's so misogynistic. Yes, it is, and it's, you know, caused massive destruction to the union template and the family template, and caused so much grief to the feminine and to children as well when men would do those things. But we're also denying the fact that men have very real needs for comfort from the feminine. It's not just about sex, it's also about just that softness and the compassion and the understanding that we bring them, and the validation, and just like soothing their you know, men are very battle hardened. Even if they just, you know, they're not going out to war, even if they're just in the next room, you know, fighting out in the corporate world, you know, it's very competitive for them. You know, they're fighting battles every day, and we are too as well. You know, obviously women, we work as well, so we understand that, because many of us are cultivating our masculine energy as well. I'm just saying that it shouldn't be so imbalanced where, you know, where it separates the masculine and feminine and we don't get to be together, because we need each other. Like, you know, we need them for protection and support and to calm our nervous systems, and they need us for those reasons as well. So that curse was clearing. That curse is clearing in a lot of masculine bloodlines. So particularly, I would say it probably a lot of the European bloodlines might have a connection to that, but what I saw in the fields was that it was actually that light. It's a powerful grid update that is all over the world. People have a connection to these bloodlines, so it's not just in Europe, but it's all over the world. The Banjara people obviously migrated. They're from India originally, but they, you know, they went through Romania and Europe, and then they also went other places as well. So, you know, it's a big what's the word, upgrade for the masculines, and just for you as a woman also. And, you know, I feel like anybody, if you want to tune into this and if you want to clear this for yourself as well, I mean, that's how it started happening, right? People wanted to clear it within themselves, so that's what's clearing in the collective now. If you feel like you maybe have that as an ancestral curse, it doesn't even have to be an ancestral curse. If you just have that in your field, an imbalance in your masculine feminine energies, and you want to bring that into balance, then you can receive that upgrade as well. As women, we also need to balance our masculine energy and have our own support and provision as well, so that there's not so much pressure on the men, and also just for our own sovereignty, our own protection and our own independence. It is important that women have their own provision and their own abundance and their own ways of generating an income. Also just for the world, because women have such powerful gifts that, you know, the collective needs are our wisdom, our healing energy, our codes, just our essence in general, you know, our creativity, whatever it is that we do. We shouldn't, you know, obviously it's amazing that we can pass that on to our children, but I think moving forward, as humanity starts to rebalance all these polarities, you know, it's important that women are able to share those gifts with. Okay, so I'm sensing that this video is getting really, really long, so just one last point that I wanted to make is another thing that I'm seeing clearing with not just my clients, but I'm also just seeing it collectively, is wounds around avoidance, emotional avoidance. And either, you know, if you're attracted to people who are avoidant, or if you're avoidant yourself, I'm seeing a lot of people are clearing this and are starting to become aware of this. A few years ago, it was like the narcissistic codependent dynamic that was clearing. So obviously, as we heal and we all come closer into unification as a collective, we're going to see less polarization. So as you start to move more into unification, you might find that you're not so attracted to people who are narcissistic, but you might be attracted to people who are avoidant. Or you might not, if you're the avoidant person, you might not be so narcissistic, but you might still have some avoidant tendencies. So I'm seeing that's clearing with a lot of my clients as well, that tendency to find that attractive, to put up with that, and people are moving and healing more towards a secure attachment, because that is going to be super important going forward with balancing our union templates, that people are more securely attached. I'm not going to go too in depth with that. I can do other videos talking about that and how, you know, I'm assisting my clients with that, how I'm clearing it within my own union template as well. So yeah, if you want to see more about that, then just like leave a comment or smash the like button or something, so that I know that that's something that you want to see more of. Okay, as always, take care of yourselves. If you want to book a session with me, just send me a DM on Instagram and we can get you booked in for a session. I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, one love. Hi loves, that was just an excerpt from my full-length Ascension update. If you like what you heard and you want to watch the whole video in full, it's like 1 hour, 10 minutes, click the link in my bio. Mwah.